Can you imagine? In the heart of Beverly Hills' elite fashion district, a brilliant black professor walks into a luxury bridal boutique, flashing a VIP card, ready to try on the gown of her dreams. But the white staff don't see a bride. They see a criminal. She's humiliated, accused of trespassing, handcuffed, and forced to kneel as onlookers stare with smug satisfaction. Then he walks in, her billionaire fiancé. In seconds, everything changes. Cameras roll. The video goes viral. And as the world watches in horror, a brutal question echoes across social media. Would they have done this if she were white? What unfolds next will shake the nation and expose the ugly truth hiding behind luxury glass doors. If you love interesting stories like this that expose the truth, please give this video a thumbs up and tell us in the comment section where in the world you are watching this video. And also do well to smash that subscribe button. The sun rose over Beverly Hills like a golden promise. Inside a mansion overlooking Sunset Boulevard, everything sparkled. Crystal chandeliers, marble floors, and windows that stretched from floor to ceiling. But the most beautiful thing in that house was Brenda. At 28, Brenda was more than just beautiful. She was brilliant. A philosophy professor who could quote great thinkers and challenge anyone who dared to underestimate her. Her skin was rich brown velvet, and her eyes held the wisdom of someone who had fought for every opportunity she'd earned. Today, she was getting her wedding dress fitted. She was marrying Michael Thompson. Yes, that Michael Thompson, the billionaire tech genius who owned half of Silicon Valley. Michael wrapped his arms around her as she finished getting ready. "You're going to outshine every star in Hollywood today," he whispered. But then his phone rang. Business emergency. The kind that couldn't wait. "I'm so sorry, baby," Michael said, his face twisted with regret. "Shanghai is falling apart. I have to handle this now. But don't worry. I've arranged everything at Bella Rosa Bridal. They're expecting you. You're their only appointment today." Brenda smiled, hiding the tiny hurt she always felt when business pulled him away. "Go handle your empire. I'll be fine." Marcus, their driver, was waiting outside. He was more than an employee. He was family. A black man in his 50s who had worked for Michael for years and treated Brenda like the queen she was. "Ready for your big day, Miss Brenda?" Marcus asked, opening the car door. "As ready as I'll ever be," she replied, sliding into the back seat of the sleek black car. Bella Rosa Bridal sat on Rodeo Drive like a temple to wealth. Glass and gold, with security that looked tighter than Fort Knox. As Brenda stepped out of the car, the building seemed to shimmer in the California sun. But something felt wrong. Cold, unwelcoming. She walked through the glass doors with Marcus beside her. Inside, the boutique breathed money. Marble floors, crystal mirrors, and wedding dresses that cost more than most people's cars. But nobody looked at her. Nobody smiled. Nobody even acknowledged she existed. A group of white women clustered around the main display, their voices high and sharp like broken glass. They were thin, blonde, and dripping in designer everything. One of them laughed, a sound like nails on a chalkboard. Brenda cleared her throat. "Good morning. I have an appointment for a bridal fitting. My fiancé made all the arrangements." The laughter stopped. Heads turned. Eyes stared. Then the whispers started. "Did she just say bridal fitting? Who does she think she is?" A tall blonde woman with a clipboard stepped forward. Her name tag read Ashley, and her smile was as fake as her tan. "Excuse me, sweetie," Ashley said, her voice dripping with condescension. "Are you sure you're in the right place? This is Bella Rosa. We serve exclusive clientele." "I am the exclusive clientele," Brenda replied calmly. "I'm here for my fitting." Another woman, younger with platinum curls, burst out laughing. "You're saying you're marrying someone rich enough to shop here? Girl, please." The air in the room turned ice cold. Marcus stepped forward, his voice steady and strong. "This is my employer's fiancé. Show her some respect." But before anyone could respond, heels clicked across the marble floor like gunshots. The manager appeared, a white woman in her 50s with steel-gray hair and a smile that could cut glass. Her name tag read Karen Whitfield, manager. "What's all this noise about?" Karen demanded, looking Brenda up and down like she was something dirty on her shoe. Brenda reached into her purse and pulled out a black and gold VIP card, the kind that only the ultra-wealthy possessed. She handed it over without a word. Ashley took the card to the scanner. Beep. The screen flashed green. It's real," she whispered to Karen. "Registered to Michael Thompson's account." For 1 second, the room went quiet. Then Karen's eyes narrowed into slits. "Where did you steal this from?" she hissed. The words hit Brenda like a slap. Marcus sucked in a sharp breath. "I'm calling the police," Karen announced. "And until they get here, I want her on the ground. Now." "She has credentials," one staff member protested. "She could have hacked it, bought it, stolen it." Karen snapped. "Get her down. On her knees. Hands behind her head." The room spun around Brenda. White dresses, sparkling lights, shocked faces. Her hands shook as she was forced to her knees on the cold marble floor. The handcuffs clicked around her wrists like the sound of her heart breaking. Marcus pulled out his phone, his fingers trembling. "I'm calling Mr. Thompson." But the police were already there, treating her like a common criminal. They searched through her purse, examined her jewelry, handled her like she was nothing. And that's when Brenda broke. The tears came hot and fast. Not because she was scared, but because she was ashamed. Ashamed that she had believed she belonged here. Ashamed that she thought money and love could protect her from hate. The other customers watched like she was entertainment. One woman held up her phone, filming everything. "Fake bride caught red-handed," she whispered to her followers. Then the doors exploded open. Michael Thompson stormed in like a hurricane. His coat was half off, his tie undone, his face carved in pure rage. The kind of anger that could move mountains and destroy empires. "What the hell is going on here?" His voice wasn't loud. It was deadly. Everyone froze. The officer stiffened. Karen's mouth fell open. Michael's eyes found Brenda on the floor, in handcuffs, crying. His voice dropped to a whisper that somehow filled the entire room. "Take your hands off my fiancé. Right now." "Sir, this woman was," the officer began. "She is my fiancé," Michael roared, dropping to his knees beside Brenda and pulling her into his arms. "Jesus, baby, I'm here. I'm so sorry." He stood up, still holding her, and turned to face the room. He pulled out his wallet and showed the officers his identification, the kind that came with government clearance and unlimited power. Then he turned to Karen, and the temperature in the room dropped to freezing. "You made a mistake today that will cost you everything," he said quietly. "You looked at her and saw a lie. You humiliated her. Put your hands on her. Had her arrested because she didn't fit your idea of who belongs here." He took Brenda's hand and held it high for everyone to see. "She fits mine perfectly." The video went viral in hours. Not just viral. It exploded across every platform on Earth. The footage of Brenda, handcuffed and crying while strangers laughed and filmed, became the symbol of everything wrong with America. #bride treated like criminal trended worldwide. The backlash was swift and merciless. Celebrities posted outraged messages. Politicians called for investigations. Sponsors fled Bella Rosa like rats from a sinking ship. The boutique's parent company watched their stock price crash in real time. Within 48 hours, Karen Whitfield was fired. Ashley quit in shame. The boutique faced lawsuit after lawsuit. But the damage was done, and it went far deeper than one business. Brenda stayed silent through it all. She didn't give interviews or post on social media. Her silence was more powerful than any words could have been. Then a package arrived at her door. No return address. Inside was the most beautiful wedding dress she had ever seen. Not white but gold. Deep, rich gold that shimmered like liquid sunlight. The note inside was simple. "The world made you cry, Brenda. Now you've made a change. Wear this not to forgive them, but to remind them what they should never forget." A friend. 3 months later, on a cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean in Malibu, Brenda walked down the aisle in that golden dress. Every step was a statement. Every breath was a victory. The dress caught the California sunset like it was made of light itself, and embroidered on the train in delicate silver thread were the words, "I am not invisible." Michael waited for her under an arch of white roses and baby's breath. When she reached him, he took her hands and whispered, "You're not just my bride. You're the lesson the world needed to learn. You're what happens when grace refuses to back down." Marcus stood beside them as best man. Not as an employee, but as family. There wasn't a dry eye in the crowd. As the sun set over the Pacific, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink, Brenda and Michael were pronounced husband and wife. The photographer captured the moment. A black woman in a golden dress, radiant and unbroken, kissing the man who had never asked her to be anything less than herself. The pictures would be seen around the world. But this time, they weren't symbols of shame. They were symbols of triumph. Bella Rosa Bridal closed permanently 6 months later. Karen Whitfield never worked in retail again. The civil rights lawsuit changed policies at luxury stores across America. But the real victory wasn't in the courtroom or the headlines. It was in the little black girls who saw Brenda's picture and learned that they belonged anywhere their dreams could take them. It was in the conversations that started in living rooms and boardrooms and classrooms across the country. It was in the change, slow, painful, necessary change. Brenda didn't just get her happily ever after. She helped create a world where other women might get theirs too. And sometimes, that's the most beautiful love story of all. This story reminds us that dignity isn't something that can be taken away. It can only be given away. And some people refuse to give it up, no matter what the world throws at them.